Disturbance again. This is in a Surah saying, speaking from Bharating on this day, March 23, 2021, Tuesday. Last video was again, this does the third one in sequence. It generally happens and of bars in building depends on size, depending on size of building, and those must perform if building has to perform. We cannot take it jokingly, and we have to connect each bar in such a way, just like we connect each beam, column and slab in such a way that they works as one unit. These bars must be connected together like electrical circuit. Electrical circuit, and these meshes, all these bars in beams, columns, foundations, wherever slabs, they must work together. If they do not work together, purpose of providing these bars is defeated. Like that means this is like wires. Current voltage should flow through each and every bar, and we test that by continued test in Catholic protection system. Like that, all load must move from top to bottom gradually, constantly, from each joint to foundation and to soil. And that load that has to move, that force that has to move means all your concrete element, all your steel element must perform together so that loads are successfully transferred. If loads are not transferred successfully, then loads remains permanently there, and which can damage your building, damage your structure. Means this is understanding of building. How building shall talk to you, you have to see that. It's not simply for you. How do you expect that it should work for you? What was in mind of designer? What was in mind of site person? Because if this expensive steel place it in for strength, we place in body of concrete for performance. Means if say my body pains in somewhere, I can't sit, I can't stay comfortably. I feel pain, and it can affect in concrete also, because there is steel. In your framing, there is steel, and steel along concrete move together. And if concrete takes load, Steel doesn't take load in that way, or steel takes load. It's not possible. Concrete doesn't take load. If only steel takes load, it can't function because concrete doesn't work. This means structure cannot work. If concrete doesn't take load, steel takes load. If steel doesn't take load, concrete takes load. That's called failure of structure. A structure can collapse, but that doesn't happen. This means they work together. If different means how many percent they work together. That can't be measured, but it can be made sure only by excellent execution, excellent working of these items on site. Job, professional. It cannot be taken because this person knows job he did for so many years, he knows everything. He might have learned wrong and experienced wrong all his life. And he's expert of wrong work. Technically what's required, it demands something. It demands importance. So we have to keep in mind that don't take it like you're buying vegetable. It's complete technical work in engineering. Though in engineering, whatever small work is very important. Very important. Engineering means small activities. Small activities make big activities, integrated activities. And just like our body parts work together, if one body part doesn't work, it's to be given, it's being undergone operation. But in RCC, because it's very heavy, it's big size, it's expensive, we have to be very careful. Don't just think that physically seen. If mental thoughts are not transferred to site works perfectly, we shall certainly lose our structure. We will reduce life of structure, or it may not work at all to an extent it was intended to be useful. Talking or promoter is interested in making money, but building is not interested in making money. As a user of that, as an occupant of that, you are not interested in making money. You are paying money for something to buy. You are paying money to whosoever. You want good, durable building, a reliable building, a building in which you can sleep comfortably. You can sleep mind tension free. There may be problems in building, I'm not saying no, but safety problem is very. It doesn't allow you building to stand, building to withstand forces on this, impossible forces on this. I'm referring to that one. That's a very important point. You cannot take it for granted. So steel and concrete combination is excellently important. If we can't allow this unity, if we can't allow or we cut out from this integrity, or we leave it to contractor or to builder or the promoter, oh, he can do everything what he wants. Commercial, if it's not professional, and builder is commercial, promoter is commercial. So don't exclusively depend on their advices. They are sellers, they are selling their products in the market. And salesmanship means 70% lies and 30% truth. Maybe 80% lies probably. So be careful. It's your money. No contractor or no promoter does any obligation on you. This is their business. They want to make money, shortcut money, and run away. Right. There are so many issues, and that's the reason that I give always in this talk this quality, design, construction, method, statements, time, cost, risk, reliability, analysis, synthesis, thinking, completion, application. This application is a very important point. It's very important item. Application. It's not application you make on submit to some government department or to some company. It's application of technology. Application means implementation. Application means prosecution. Application means doing job, doing activity. This application, don't take it so easy or so granted. It is apply. We say apply. Apply something practically, rightly, specifically. That's application. That's based on contemplation. Application can be overall and application can be activity-wise. And contemplation means not one application, many applications can be taken together, duly coordinated and duly compatible. Means coordination, compatible. Compatible means one application, one activity talks to other activity in a unison, in a way don't conflict. They don't conflict. And thinking, of course, is root of all work. It may be problem or it may be solution. Thinking never stops. If you have got solution, it's further improved. I think it tells you how it can move in wrong direction. So how it can give more problem. That's what thinking says. Mechanical thinking, electrical analysis, compatibility, civil architectural compatibility, civil all other compatibility. So all same thing as a coordination. So coordination is a kind of synthesis of all requirements. Means at certain time some result should come. If there are 10 items required to work together, coordination brings them all together. And that's a kind of, you can say, a kind of synthetic analysis or analytical synthesis based on both synthetic analysis and analytical synthesis, based on thinking and based on contemplation. And that's time in your hand, but you can bring items according to time. You can plan year 365 days, get me 465 days a year, and that's not happen. And cost, of course, time varies when cost varies. Loss of time is lot of cost, and of course loss of risks as well. If you are not able to do something in defined time, contract time, 1 year goes to 1.5 years, this means of course you have to spend more money on 50% time. And of course then whatever work you have done, that can deteriorate without protection. You say project is lying and concrete is not finished for many years, something says this puts there something. So that concrete is not working, exposed to weather conditions, they can't protect it. And so this means every day this loses something. It still loses something. Its contract is affected by weather conditions. There's no protection on that, so you can say. Risk factor also there. And how it shall behave in future, then all the new connections, it's all. And then reliability, safety is important, service is important, and long life is important. Durability, which you call that. So these are very important points in our consideration of of talk. Maybe this looks different to some people, but different or not different. That's also important. So let's now come on to this simple item, this block works about grade level. Block work. What is block? What is brick? Do you know that? Of course, materialize, you know. Is it useful for construction? How brick we use? What's stone? What's the relation between a brick and stone and block and concrete? Just reading material things, studying material is okay. Don't understand relations. It's very important. There was a time when there was no concrete, there was no bricks, there were no blocks. Those days, stone masonry was used. Stone, which is natural material. There's no work on that. Just take it from quarry or take however you get it. Various types of masonries are turned in stone, right? And stone comes from where? It comes from rocks. And rocks means different types of rocks. You can say primarily three types: igneous rocks and sedimentary rocks, and you can say metamorphic rocks. Igneous means that comes from volcanic conditions where volcanic effect is there. That's igneous rocks. And this, it's not having any layers. It doesn't have layers. It's solid. And other ones that comes from sedimentary rock, we call it sedimentary rock, or that's some settlement on for hundreds of years of dust or something. This settlement layer solidifies, and then another layer solidifies on this, and another layer, like that, where layers are formed due to sedimentations of materials, sedimentation of particles or rocks, or sedimentation of dust, sedimentation of sand, whatever it is. It may be sand, it may be something else, or it may be whatever you can say it could be. Layers are formed in you can say centuries. These layers constitute different timings. It can be sand layers, it can be peat, it can be different names are given to that. That's called sedimentary rocks. And also there is another one which is neither igneous nor sedimentary, and that's we call it by action or result by imposition of working of natural agencies like atmosphere, you can say air, water, heat, dust. Rocks type, metamorphic rock, call it, which is in between. Metamorphic rock first is sedimentary rock and then metamorphic rock. So these rocks, these stones come from certainly these rocks. And of course, you can say lime was generally used as also